Alex Eala is about to walk into a match that carries a memory from a completely different stage of her career. 2 years ago, Elena-Gabriela Ruse stood between Eala and her first Grand Slam main draw appearance, and the Romanian survived a 3-set battle in US Open qualifying. Now the same matchup returns at the Cincinnati Open, but almost everything around it has changed. Eala is no longer the teenager fighting for recognition. She enters Cincinnati as the number 17 seed after reaching a career-high world ranking of number 20, and she arrives as the first Filipina to win a WTA Tour-level singles title. Welcome to the channel. If you follow Alex Eala's remarkable rise, make sure you are subscribed because this Cincinnati matchup is about much more than one second-round ticket. It is a chance to measure how far Eala has actually traveled since that night in New York. The opponent is familiar, the surface is familiar, and the stakes are enormous with the US Open approaching. But the player Ruse will see across the net is not the player she defeated in 2024. The real question is whether Eala can turn an old disappointment into another chapter of her growing reputation. Go back to August 2024. Eala was 19 years old and ranked outside the world's top 140. She had reached the final round of US Open qualifying after defeating Madison Inglis and Nuria Parises Diaz, and one victory would have put her into the main draw of the tournament. Ruse was the final obstacle. Eala won the opening set 6-3, putting herself one set away from the breakthrough she had been chasing. But Ruse responded immediately, taking the second set 6-1 before closing out the deciding set 6-4. The opportunity disappeared in New York. That defeat mattered because it was not simply another qualifying loss. Eala had already come close to qualifying for the French Open and Wimbledon that year, and the US Open represented another opportunity to finally cross that line. Instead, she left the qualifying draw without a main draw place. The painful part was that she had been ahead. She had already shown enough tennis to make the result believable, but Ruse adjusted and took control. For a young player still learning how to manage momentum at professional level, those matches can become turning points even when the result goes the wrong way. Fast forward 2 years and the contrast is almost impossible to ignore. Eala has climbed from the 140s into the top 20, established herself against elite opponents, and produced the biggest title of her professional singles career. At the Washington Open earlier this month, she defeated Jessica Pegula in a rain-delayed final to become the first player from the Philippines to win a WTA Tour-level singles title. She fought back after losing the opening set 6-4, then won the next 2 sets 6-4 and 6-0. That victory pushed her to a career-high ranking of number 20, and Eala did not reach that position by beating only players ranked below her. Her 2026 breakthrough has been built through victories over some of the biggest names in the women's game. She has shown that her left-handed serve, aggressive baseline game, and willingness to take the ball early can trouble elite opponents. Her Wimbledon campaign also demonstrated that she is increasingly comfortable in the biggest environments. The deeper she goes into tournaments, the less her game looks like that of a prospect waiting for her breakthrough, and the more it resembles the game of a player who expects to compete with the best. The Cincinnati setting gives this rematch another layer. The Cincinnati Open is a WTA 1000 event played on outdoor hard courts at the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio. The tournament expanded to a 96-player singles field and carries 1,000 ranking points for the champion. Eala received a first-round bye as the number 17 seed, meaning her opening match of the tournament comes directly against Ruse. That combination of ranking, seeding, and tournament position tells you how dramatically her status has changed since the two players last met. Ruse, meanwhile, enters this match carrying her own credentials. The Romanian is currently ranked number 77 and has already demonstrated during her career that she can produce dangerous results against higher-ranked opponents. She is experienced, competitive, and familiar with Eala's game because she has already solved the puzzle once. That previous victory is important, but it also creates a fascinating tactical question. Will Ruse try to recreate the formula that worked in 2024, or will she have to find something completely different against a player whose development has changed the matchup? That first meeting offers clues. Eala started aggressively and used her forehand. to control exchanges, but Ruse gradually disrupted that rhythm. The Romanian stayed in points, absorbed pace, and forced Eala to produce another ball. Once the rallies became longer and Eala began pressing for winners, the balance shifted. The second set was particularly decisive, and Ruse carried that momentum into the final set. The lesson was straightforward. If an opponent can neutralize Eala's first attacking shot and make her play several extra balls, the match becomes considerably more complicated. But there is an important difference now. Eala has had 2 full seasons of professional development since that match. She has played bigger tournaments, faced stronger opponents, and learned how to survive matches in which her first plan does not work perfectly. More importantly, she has accumulated experience in pressure situations that simply did not exist in 2024. A player who has already won a WTA title and beaten top-level opposition approaches a difficult moment differently from a teenager trying to qualify for her first Grand Slam main draw. The serve is another part of the equation. Eala's serve has become a more important weapon as her level has risen. She is still primarily known for the aggression of her baseline game, but the ability to earn free points and start rallies from a stronger position gives her more room to attack. Against Ruse, that could be particularly important because the Romanian's success will depend partly on how comfortable she feels returning Eala's first serve. If Ruse is constantly starting rallies from neutral or defensive positions, Eala can dictate much earlier. At the same time, this is not a matchup where Eala can simply walk onto the court expecting her ranking to win. Cincinnati has produced plenty of surprises over the years because conditions can be demanding and the field is loaded. Ruse has enough experience to punish a slow start. If Eala gives away inexpensive points, allows Ruse to settle into long exchanges or starts searching for winners too early, the Romanian can turn this into exactly the kind of physical match she wants. There is also the issue of fatigue. Eala has played a huge amount of tennis during the North American hard court swing. She won Washington, then continued into the Canadian Open in Toronto, where her run ended in the round of 16 against Belinda Bencic. Eala lost that match 6-4, 6-0, ending a 7-match winning streak. Before the defeat, however, she had battled through a 3-set match against Katie McNally. The workload matters because Cincinnati comes immediately before the final major of the summer. That Canadian Open result should not be overinterpreted. One difficult match does not erase everything Eala accomplished in Washington or the progress she has made throughout the season. Bencic played an excellent match and exposed some of the areas where Eala can still be pressured. The important point is that Eala now has an opportunity to respond. Cincinnati is another WTA 1000 event, another hard-court test, and another chance to regain rhythm before the US Open. For Ruse, the physical situation is different. She had to play her opening match in Cincinnati because she was not seeded, while Eala entered directly in the second round. That gives Eala an advantage in terms of tournament workload, even though Ruse gets the benefit of having already adjusted to the court conditions. The Romanian's first-round victory also means she has already experienced the pace of the Cincinnati courts under competitive pressure. Eala will have to find that rhythm quickly. The ranking gap is significant, but rankings alone cannot explain this match. Eala is the number 17 seed. Ruse is number 77. That is a 60-place difference, and it reflects the different trajectories of the two players over the last 2 seasons. But Ruse has something Eala cannot buy with a ranking, the psychological knowledge that she has beaten her before. She knows what it feels like to take Eala's best shots and survive. She knows that Eala can become impatient when an opponent refuses to give her the court position she wants. That psychological advantage, however, cuts both ways. Eala also knows exactly what happened. She knows Ruse is capable of beating her. She knows what the Romanian tried to do. And she now has 2 years of additional experience to interpret that defeat. The rematch therefore becomes less about revenge and more about evidence. Can Eala demonstrate that the weaknesses exposed in 2024 have genuinely been addressed? The biggest evidence may come in the first 4 or 5 games. If Eala serves efficiently, protects her second serve and controls the first 2 shots of the rally, Ruse could struggle to establish the defensive rhythm she wants. If Ruse immediately gets Eala into extended exchanges, however, the match could become much more uncomfortable. The Romanian does not need to overpower Eala. She needs to make Eala hit one extra ball, then another, and eventually ask the younger player to create something that is not there. That is where Eala's forehand becomes crucial. She is at her most dangerous when she can step inside the baseline and redirect pace. Her left-handed patterns can pull opponents into uncomfortable positions, especially when she creates angles and then attacks the open court. Ruse will likely want to prevent those situations by keeping Eala moving and avoiding predictable rally patterns. The longer Eala stands in the same position and dictates, the more dangerous she becomes. The backhand battle could also decide the shape of the match. Ruse can absorb pace from that side and extend rallies, while Eala can use her two-handed backhand to redirect balls and change direction. Neither player necessarily needs to win every exchange. The real objective is to create the first short ball. Once Eala receives one, she can attack. Once Ruse receives one, she can change the rhythm, approach, or force Eala to defend. The player who controls those short ball moments could control the entire contest. Then there is the emotional side of the story. Eala has already experienced several moments in which an opponent who once represented a barrier later became someone she could defeat. That is an important part of her growth. The confidence of a player is not built only through titles. It is built through evidence. Every time Eala enters a difficult match and discovers that she belongs there, the next difficult match becomes easier to believe in. The 2024 loss to Ruse was evidence of the opposite. At that time, Eala was still trying to prove she could survive the final step. She had talent, but talent was not enough. She needed physical strength, tactical patience, and the ability to recover when momentum turned. Those qualities cannot be developed overnight. They come from hundreds of matches, difficult losses, and uncomfortable situations. Eala has accumulated all of that since New York. There is also something symbolic about the timing. The last time Eala and Ruse met, Eala was fighting to enter the US Open. This time, the Cincinnati match is part of her preparation for the US Open as a player already established inside the sport's upper tier. The difference is not merely numerical. It represents a complete change in expectation. In 2024, qualifying was the goal. In 2026, the question is how far Eala can go once she arrives at the Grand Slam itself. That shift can create pressure of its own. Eala is no longer an unknown player who can surprise people without consequences. She is now seeded at major tournaments. Fans expect wins. Opponents prepare specifically for her. Media attention follows her. And every victory creates another expectation for the next match. The Cincinnati test, therefore, has value beyond the draw. It gives Eala another opportunity to learn how to compete when everyone knows what she is capable of. Ruse, of course, has no reason to care about the narrative. Her job is simple: win the match. She can use the history, but she does not need to. If she serves well, returns aggressively, and keeps Eala from establishing control, she has a legitimate chance. The Romanian has enough experience to understand that an upset begins long before the final points. It begins by making the favorite uncomfortable and forcing her to question the patterns she normally trusts. For Eala, the response should be patience rather than panic. If Ruse wins several long rallies, Eala cannot allow that to change her entire game. She needs to stay committed to her strengths while making small tactical adjustments. The mature version of Eala is not necessarily